Where's the cow go?
Yeah.
Does it fit there?
New mom Melanie Moran is like a lot of parents of young kids. Though she limits the time her son Declan plays with smartphones or touchscreens, the allure is great.
He's very excited. I mean, if it's iPad or iPhone time, he's really excited. He wants to play with it and often doesn't want to stop playing with it when it's time.
But can kids as young as 2 or 3 really learn from so-called educational apps? That's where Vanderbilt senior Charlotte Duncan and associate professor of psychology Georgine Trosseth come in.
It's the elephant.
So we're looking at children's self-regulation abilities, their ability to control their own behaviors, and if that has an effect on the way that they use touchscreens, the way they tap mostly, and then seeing if that has an effect on how much they can learn from the app.
3.
The research is to look at how much children's tendency to tap on the screen kind of randomly and crazily could actually impede their learning or create problems for their learning.
Because with educational apps, that tapping and swiping is supposed to lead to learning.
E.
What is it?
E.
And then we think that a lack of self-regulation is going to mean that they're going to tap all over the place and they're not necessarily going to be absorbing the instructions and really knowing what they're supposed to do in order to play the game.
Charlotte, a cognitive studies major, earned a coveted internship with Sesame Workshop her junior year at Vanderbilt. That's where the Boston native started working with kids and apps.
Elmo knew you could do it!
So what I got to do, which was a blessing in disguise, was I got to test all of the apps and web games. That was really sort of what made these light bulbs go off in my head. So I really want to get to sort of the heart of what makes them work and what makes them not work.
She wrote a paper on what makes certain components of learning apps successful. Then Professor Trosseth helped turn Charlotte's concept into a concrete study.
She came back with all these ideas and began working in my lab and came in with ideas. And so she is actually doing what amounts to an honors thesis in her last year of school.
Charlotte and graduate student Colleen Russo are now meeting with children and parents using an app the two created together.
Here is the elephant.
It's really cool how it's become something so far from what it was, but also something so much bigger. Nice job.
Charlotte will continue her work on educational technology as a grad student at Harvard, and she plans to continue collaborating with Vanderbilt.
It's an amazing community, and that collaboration is really what has gotten me to where I am.
For Viewcast,
now we're going to play another game.
I'm Amy Wolf.